Do you have what it takes to be a Toastmasters International Speech contestant? Today's guest has been brave enough to not only compete in one contest competition, but several. We're here from distinguished Toastmaster Michael Wilder about the speech contest experience. I am Kimberly. I am a member of St. Margaret Achievers Toastmasters Club. We are located in the United States, Region 7, District 27, Division E, and Area 51. If you would like to learn more about our club, you can visit us on sma.toastmastersclubs.org. Now let's get to our distinguished guest. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you, Kimberly?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So you've been in a few speech contests, haven't you?
I have. I've been enjoying the journey so far also.
Oh, you've been enjoying it. A lot of people are afraid of the speech contest experience. Can you tell me, first of all, give us a little information about yourself? What made you join Toastmasters and specifically St. Margaret Achievers Toastmasters Club?
Well, I've been a member for 8 years as a Toastmaster. I did not start with St. Margaret's Achievers, but St. Margaret's Achievers is now my club that I've joined back in 2018. It's been a beautiful experience. There's been a lot of laughs, a lot of challenges, but being able to overcome those challenges, of course, with a extended family, if you will. I've loved to start contests back in 2016 in my previous club. I was a little nervous. It was daunting, can still be daunting even now. However, I was always given that friendly nudge to give it a shot. And I fell in love with the process, fell in love with contest. And through watching and spectating other contests, I've learned that Toastmasters are more than just the limits of the club environment, but is an international experience. It's all across the world. Right now, there are several clubs giving contest speeches. There's several clubs being timed for speech evaluation or a table topic. And the beautiful thing about it is I love to see other people shine. I love to see other people share their story through their speeches. So I've embraced the contest experience. I've embraced being willing to practice the speech 100 times over in the mirror or practicing on Zoom. And in the process, get to see other people's skills be expanded and developed and having their voices being heard, knowing that it's not just about one club, it's about the many clubs and many people and the many cultures all across the globe. And I love the unification. It's like a big melting pot of speakers.
Wow, Michael, now that's a little scary. That's a little intimidating. You said there's people competing in these speeches all over the world. What gave you that confidence to compete in your first contest, knowing that you would be competing against so many people in so many different places?
Now, you know what the funny thing is? During my first contest experience, I had no idea how extensive the contests were. I only thought that it went towards, say, the division contest, which is 3 levels up. And that still involves local clubs, winners from local clubs. I thought it would just stop at a certain point. But then the May District 27 conference is when I learned that it's just the beginning, it's the tip of the iceberg. So at the time, it was distinguished Toastmaster Christine Hobbs, who was our District 27 director, and she was the contest chair. And she said that the winner of the international speech contest for the District 27 conference will go to the regionals. I looked to my mentor out there, I said, what's the regional? And she says that is when an entire portion of the United States competes with other portions of the United States. And it extends to other continents. It extends to people from Sierra Leone in Africa, when it comes to people from Sri Lanka, India, people from Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, North America, South America, all across the board. So if I had known from the very start that this could potentially be a competition amongst multicultural members, I probably would never have started it. But even then, with the support that I have and the support that I had when I started, I can say that I would still be willing to take the plunge and to dive in because of the love and support that I get from fellow members in my mentorship.
Well, Michael, that is so funny because it sounds like you didn't take the plunge the first time. Someone threw you in the water. That's an amazing experience. It helped you learn so much through just being pushed, that extra push. So let's just say someone has decided, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the plunge. What would be the first step?
The first step is to know that you have something to share with the world. Second is to have fun with the process, knowing that there's no perfect speaker. There are many dynamic speakers, but there's no such thing as a perfect speaker because we're not perfect people. However, you should be patient with yourself and practice as many times as you can. That way, when you give your speech, it's like second nature. And thirdly would be to know that you gave it your all, knowing that you are a winner because you stepped to the plate. There have been members that have never tried a contest. It may not be their cup of tea, or they have been so scared that they never gave it a try, and many years have tried and is still in the same spot. Give it a try. Know that you have a story to share. Know that nobody's perfect. You're a winner because you gave it a try. And let your voice be heard.
And how do you decide what topics you're going to speak about in the contest? There's so many people with a range of topics. How do you know which topic is going to be that winner?
Well, first you start with the club contest. You could possibly use the contest speech of one of your pathways programs, one of your paths, excuse me, and see how the club members react to it. See what kind of feedback you receive from them. Would they consider this the contest speech? And if they do consider it a contest speech, they give valuable feedback. That way you document it, you apply it, you polish your speech up, and then you give it at the club contest. Or if it's a speech that you have made solely for the purpose of giving at a contest, give it a try at the club level. And if you win, fantastic. But it doesn't start with just winning. It's about how you can always improve. It's just like we say in church, iron sharpens iron. It's about building up and growing and developing and polishing up that speech, but also polishing up yourself as a person and as a speaker. In addition, I know that I've given several speeches in different contests, but I can always say that I've tried them at the club level first to see people's reaction, what their feedback is, how I can make it better, and then apply it for the next contest. That's the area, division, and of course the district. So you really kind of experiment with your speeches and see which one is the best for the contest. And the rest is just having fun. Practice, but always have fun with it.
Okay, so far I've heard that you had an opportunity to grow and that it's a lot of fun. There's just one more question that I know a lot of people want to know. Is there a way that you can apply the skills that you use in the Toastmaster contest experience in your everyday life? How has it helped you in the reality that you live in every day?
That's a very good question. I remember My first speech being the icebreaker. I broke the ice, but let's say I was about 10 minutes over breaking that ice. You give it 4 to 6 minutes to speak. It was about a whopping 15 minutes and 30 seconds. I had no idea how fast time flew for a 4 to 6 minute speech. However, I know for a fact that that was the beginning for me. And I know that there was more work to be done. I'm introverted by nature. Say 20 years ago in high school and in college, I was not the most open, talkative person. When I gave my icebreaker in 2015 in September, that was the beginning of my Toastmaster journey. I said, I want to give this a try. I want to break out of my shell because other members are introverted also. But the way they speak and carry themselves and talk about Toastmasters, anything in general, even outside of work, you would never know that they're introverted. You think that they've been extroverted their entire lives. But it's because of Toastmasters and the practice and the application of the constructive feedback that you get from people. It's what expanded their horizons altogether. So they can speak to a random stranger on the bus. If an Uber is being shared, you can have a conversation with that person. Maybe be a little bit nervous, but you have the gall to talk to that person despite not necessarily being able to before starting Toastmasters, but it just builds that speaking muscle and that confidence muscle. People still look to me today, even during this pandemic, they say, Mike, I would never have known that you were a non-talkative, introverted, look down at your shoes. You got some nice shoes, because I was always looking down because of lack of confidence. Only time I look down is make sure that I don't trip. I walk across the street, make sure I don't trip over the curb. That's the only time I look down. But now it's officially eye-to-eye contact. It's confidence. I'm on the elevator. I can speak to a person, compliment them on their tie or anything like that. We can stir up a 1 to 2 minute conversation and then be on our way. That comes with being willing to change for the better, knowing that I'm not perfect, but I can be better. I can be better. You can be better. Anyone that takes on the Toastmasters opportunity can be better, but it's about willing to take that change to be better. And of course, having that strong mentor and especially the whole of the club to make you better.
Thank you for that, Michael. And you are so correct, because I thought you were an introvert. I had no idea. I thought you were an extrovert. I had no idea that you were an introvert. You definitely do not show it at the club meetings. So that's a big plus in being a part of the Toastmasters program and being a part of the club community, because it helps you become comfortable. And I like what you said in the beginning, where you said that this club felt like family. And that makes a lot of sense, because it's easy and more comfortable for us to speak around our family. And in practicing that way, then we can get more comfortable speaking around other people. Now, I gotta know, what's next for distinguished Michael Wilder?
Next is to speak at the evaluation contest at the division level. That's going to be on the 15th of April. I'll be transparent. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't make first place for the international speech contest, but congratulations to the first place winner. She knocked the speech out the park. It was phenomenal. I will continue to speak for the international speech contest because, again, I've seen the expansion and the entire picture of what Toastmasters is all about. I'll mention that the international convention is the cream of the crop for Toastmasters. It's an annual event. It's somewhere across the world every year. And I can tell you that 2016, I believe it was June or July 2016 when I went to my first convention. Thankfully, it was local. I took the Green Line to DC and I was there for a whole day. I saw people speaking different languages. from different cultures, getting off the airport from other parts of the world, all under one roof, all under one, I believe it was a Hyatt. That Hyatt was full till the rim of Toastmasters. And you saw people practicing speeches. You seen people huddled around the corner, motivating people to give a speech a try. And seeing the international convention, knowing that this is where the world champion of public speaking is crowned and awarded and trophied in front of millions of people across the world, whether they're in person or whether they're online, because it's a live broadcast as well. I first saw that contest, I said, wow, this is what Toastmasters is about. It's leadership, it's building yourself to delegate, to work with a team, but it's also about speaking and, again, letting your voice be heard. I said, these are people from across the world. Each are phenomenal speakers. Some are Black, some are white, some are Latino, some are Chinese, Japanese, Native Indian. I said, wow, if they can do it, why can't I? Kudos to all of them. But I can see myself being up there too. And I caught the vision to be there one day, which is why I go back to the drawing board and I come up with another speech or a polished version of a previous speech that got me far into the contest levels, whether it was district, whether it was division, whether it was area, whether it was club. I had good feedback and good words back from my members about the speeches that I've given before. So why not keep going and see how far I can get? And one more thing I'd like to mention is that I've seen speakers from previous contests from 2021 make it back to the same level in 2022 at the international level. They did not give up. They made it to the finals. And one of them made it this time. His name is Cyril Jr. Dim from Zimbabwe. Proud that he made it. He made third place, I believe, in 2021. He came back in 2022, made it to the very final. It was him and two other speakers out of 8 that made it to the World Championship of Public Speaking. He did not give up. He continued to build his craft. He continued to be coachable. He continued to be an open book to learn, to develop. He's already polished. He's way polished than I am. I can learn a lot of things from him. But despite how high he is in the level of speaking, he's still willing to say, how can I improve? I'm open to learn more. How can I be better? And when he raised that trophy up, it's funny how allergies kick in at the funniest time. So I got a little sniffly, had to blow my nose a little bit, had to go and get some tissue, but it's a beautiful experience. And it could have been him. It could have been another speaker from India. It could have been another speaker from China. It could have been another speaker from North Carolina. It's the beauty of the opportunity being offered for everybody across the world. It's not just the United States, it's not just North America, South America, it's the entire world. Anyone can do this. But be consistent, be true to yourself, and you can and you will win. Give it yourself some time. You may not make it the first time, but it doesn't mean you won't make it the second time.
Michael, I can see you there. I can see you making it all the way to the top and winning. And I just want to let you know that your family here at St. Margaret's Achievers will be rooting for you the entire way. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity for this interview. And thank you all for stopping by to watch. Again, if you want to check out our club, this family that we've been talking about, you can visit us at sma.toastmastersclubs.com or .org. The information will also be in the description, and you can also go there to sign up to attend one of our meetings. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.